Hey, Sir Ant, I heard that the population of China is declining. The cities are emptying out and the countryside is barren. Is that true? Is it a result of COVID or some other natural disaster or disease? Is it because of the one child policy? Well, let's talk about it. 大家好，我是 Sir Ant 在中国. Hey everyone, it's Sir Ant in China. How y'all doing today? I hope you're having a lovely day. I'm sitting out here in the sunshine, as you can see, with the hat and sunglasses, enjoying this beautiful Sunday afternoon. And I got a comment today from one of my viewers who asked me about the rapidly declining population in China. And so I thought I'd address that. Now, before we get to that, let me once again, as always, thank all of my fantastic viewers and supporters for helping me to grow my channel and reach more viewers. It's really easy. If you want to help the channel to grow, all you've got to do is hit that subscribe button below. And if you like the stuff I'm saying, throw me a thumbs up. It goes a long way in helping the YouTube algorithm to finding my videos and sharing them with more people. And if you wanted to buy a guy a cup of coffee like so many of you have been doing, thank you so much. It's incredibly easy. There's a couple barcodes up here, or QR codes I guess you'd call them, a couple links down in the description, or if you want early access to all my videos, you could become a channel member. But enough about that. Let's talk about the rapidly declining population in China. Now, this is once again a China haters myth that is spreading on the internet, and I really don't get it, to be absolutely honest. I'm not sure why that would be such a terrible thing that the Chinese government would need to lie about. If there were a massive disease rampaging across the country, the global audience would know. Tourists and travelers to China would know. If the cities were emptying out and the countryside was already barren, devoid of all human life, who would run the farms? Who would feed the people? It's a myth. It is a myth. Now, I've heard a couple different possible reasons for this myth. One is the H1N1 virus, I believe. There's another one as well that they say is shutting down the country. The hospitals are overflowing, the schools are closed, people are locked up in their homes, etc., etc. Do you see me wearing a mask? Do you see me locked up in my home? Do you hear all the cars going by on the street? I mean, if you look around, this particular area doesn't have a ton of people in it, but I live in a factory area. And this particular spot that I'm sitting in now is a little rest area that at nighttime would be filled with people dancing and exercising, of course, in the coolness of evening, not in the heat of the sun like this crazy guy is doing right now. But there are no pandemics spreading across China, and there haven't been since COVID. This is a huge lie and bit of misinformation that I don't understand the reasoning behind why you would want to spread that. Now, another story that I've recently seen other videos, the China haters talking about, and seen the kind of proof, as it were, the evidence of this case, is the declining population due to the China one-child policy. Now, somebody decided to have some fun with a calculator. Past 50 years since the one-child policy was enacted back in the 1980s, the early 80s, I believe, if not 1980. And basically, it is based on the premise that Every single solitary couple in China had one baby and one baby only. So if a couple accidentally, oh my goodness, had a little more fun than just that one time and they had a second child, what the hell do you think they did with the kid? Throw it out in the trash? Come on. Come on. And the reality of the one-child policy was it was not absolute. Not in any way, shape, or form. In rural China in particular, people not only were able to have large families, they were encouraged to do so because there were not large populations of immigrant workers coming to work the farms and the fields like there are, say, in, I don't know, Canada and the United States. China does not have immigration policies like that. So if you wanted workers for your farm, they were coming from your village. And the easiest way to maintain a workforce in your village was to have babies, period. So like I said, farmers and people living in rural China were exempt from the one-child policy. Otherwise, the farming industry across China would have died, dead in the water, period. Do I have proof of this? Abso-frickin-lutely. I married her. My wife is Chinese. She comes from a small rural village. She has 4 brothers and 3 sisters. I know. I've been there. I've met them all. So that means that her parents had 8 kids. How does that fit into the one-child policy? 8 kids. And all of her brothers and sisters have multiple kids. Some 2, some 3, some 5. This is a part of rural life in China. So for this mathematical calculation, assuming, very wrongfully assuming, that every single solitary couple in China had 1 child and 1 child alone is poppycock. It is absolutely not true. Now, okay, but the majority of the population lives in the big cities, and they can't have more than 1 kid. Really? I wish I could count how many friends, co-workers, students of mine, adult students obviously, fellow employees, etc., that I've known that have multiple kids and brothers and sisters. So where was the one-child policy then? Well, there was a one-child policy, don't get me wrong. However, if you could afford to pay the 2nd child or 3rd child, 4th child tax, you could have more children. If you were unlucky enough to get pregnant unexpectedly, these things happen. I think everybody knows how that happens. We don't need to go into details. Like I said, it's not like they're going to tell you to dispose of the child. What a ridiculous concept. There might be a small financial penalty, but in the end, people had kids. That's just the way life goes. So yes, China did have a one-child policy, but it certainly did not limit the entire population to having 1 child and 1 child alone. Absolute crap. So this mathematical equation, I suppose it might have been done with the best intentions in mind. Like I said, somebody with a calculator thought, let's just figure out, based on statistics and the idea that every single solitary person in China is only going to have 1 kid, how long it would take before the population of older people would outnumber the population of children. And it did. And that's one of the problems that China is experiencing right now, is that the population growth has shrunk. But has China lost 1 billion people like these liars and China haters are saying online? Hell no. Abso-freaking-lutely not. Come to any big city in China and show me the empty parts. Show me the areas where there is nobody. Let's go to the countryside together. Let's go to the farming communities. I'll take you to go visit my family. At Spring Festival, there are 50 or 60 people at least in my mother-in-law's house. It is just outrageous how many family members I now have, and it's not stopping. In fact, now, as of 2016, I actually believe, there is no one-child policy in China anymore, and the Chinese government is encouraging couples to have more than one child. So, yeah, again, I don't understand why these China haters are spreading this absolute atrocious myth around that there are only 400,000 or 400 million or 500 million Chinese people left in China. Absolutely not. There are no pandemics sweeping the country, filling the hospitals, closing down the schools, locking everybody into their homes. Not happening. Absolutely not. There is not a massive reduction in the number of people. And yes, there are lots and lots of young people that are moving away from the countryside as the country industrializes and becomes more technological. Of course, the kids are not going to want to live on the farms and the acreages anymore, exactly the same way as happening in Canada right now. Small towns and villages in agricultural areas are dying. They're shutting down, but that doesn't mean all the farmers are leaving the land vacant and going back to the city. So I understand this person and I appreciate the comment, I really do, but have no fear. China has not lost 1 billion people. There are not, vast pandemics sweeping the country, and there are just as many happy Chinese people here now as there ever have been. I'm living proof of it. I've been here for 20 years. I would know if 1 billion people disappeared. So there you go. Again, I love these kinds of comments and questions from my viewers, and I'm more than happy to address them and share my personal experience with you guys. So if you do have any more questions, concerns, or just want to say hi, do a guy a favor. Let me know in the comments below. Just like hitting subscribe and throwing me a thumbs up, leaving comments also helps the YouTube algorithm to find my videos. And I have all of you wonderful, wonderful viewers to thank for it. But for now, I'm going to continue my walk. It is a lovely day. The flowers are blooming. It's amazing here. Let me just flip the camera again so I can show you what I'm seeing. Now this tree doesn't have any leaves on it right now, but that's the way it's supposed to be. It's covered in these really cool red flowers, which all fall off onto the ground at the base of the tree. And then we've got these trees over here. I don't know with the sunshine if you're going to be able to see the beautiful yellow flowers here. We've got a bunch of non-existent people sitting over here on the free fitness equipment that the Chinese government puts outside everywhere for the non-existent people to exercise. And I'm sitting here on these benches in this little, like I said, this is just a little area. The Chinese government provides tons and tons of these little open little plazas, little squares where people can come and exercise, people can come and dance, meet, hang out, chat. And then right across the street is an enormous park, which if you've watched any of my videos before, you've seen. It's called Shiyanhu. That is Shiyan Lake. It's absolutely beautiful, but today I thought I would do a little exploring of my neighborhood. So on that note, the neighborhood is not going to get explored on its own. I'm going to have to get off my butt, get a little exercise, and go see what else I can find. And who knows, maybe I'll share some more of that with you. Till then, 再见.